Sorry, I've gone live. I apologise.
No, that's all right.
Look at you, you beautiful bastard.
Hey, look at this, look. I've got a medal. You know that Trigger got a medal?
Oh, congratulations, mate. Maybe we should all do that next year.
I was going to suggest, it's a Grimsby 10K medal, by the way, for anyone that's not watching. I was just thought the same thing. We should do a pod one for charity.
Could you imagine? That'd be. Do you know what? We'll do Grimsby 10K next year then, and we'll do it for charity. It'll get my keister out of bed.
Do you think you get any
more? All stay at Mike's.
Who's keister?
Is that too New York?
Too niche.
Too niche.
Too niche.
You Nicky.
Do you think you get any more? Do you think you get any more responses than you normally get when you ask about the pod? You know, if you put like who's doing the 10K on Saturday in the WhatsApp,
not available.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm out for tea with Auntie Lunch, and there'd be.
That's just Alex.
Yeah. Can she feed me as well? But yeah, it was a great event though. It's the first time that I did a virtual one during lockdown. Where you do it before either you take the piss, you just do it on your own. But no, there was 2,800 and something did it.
I think we should do it, and we should just video it do like a little podcast as we go around, and by the end of it, it's just wheezing.
Well, yeah, no speaking
for me.
No.
Yeah.
Can I just say, that's all well and good, but you're not very observant, are you, Bruce?
What is the playoff final on the same day next year?
New pod stuff.
Oh, that's all right. I assumed he hasn't got his glasses on. That's why.
New pod stuff. Oh, what a new layout. Oh yeah, look at that. Look.
Is that how bad your eyesight is?
I can't see my phone, mate. Well, I can see my phone, but I can't see what's on it. It's got horrendous. Last couple of years, mate, it's got horrendous. I always thought working with computers that I was very lucky that into my quite late 40s, my eyesight was all right. But I can read a number plate at about half a mile. But you put my phone in front of me with a bit of text on or something, and I just can't see it.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's sad time.
Well, it's nice to know what's going to be coming around the corner for me.
So
glasses and a finger up your bum.
So there was one person watching last night as me and Alex went live on Twitch, didn't we, Alex, to try and figure this out? And there was one person watching us trying to figure out.
I'd love to know who watched us, because we never get anyone watching on Twitch. There's no one watching at the moment. But then, the random setup of us trying to work this out. Brilliant. Bruce, it isn't messing up your phone, because last time we tried to do the chat thing in the corner where everyone can see what everybody's typing.
I disappeared.
Yeah. Can you see us now?
Oh no, I can see. I can. Can you see us now? It's like Max and Paddy, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you are watching this on YouTube, could you just give us a quick thumbs up if you can see those comments? All right, because we spent about 10 minutes discussing.
I can see. David,
you're not watching on YouTube. Shut up.
David, somebody has said 10K. Is that all? Come on, Edinburgh Marathon is always available. I've done it. Yeah, all right, David. Jog on.
Cheers, Oliver.
Don't Oldham have about 3K in the away end? Yeah, I can see their messages now.
Were you never able to see them before?
Where it went wrong was I just didn't realise what that button did.
It would just be the idea now that Bruce is just going to start randomly answering people's comments.
No, but but last time what happened was I pressed one of these buttons and you all disappeared. The whole screen went off when I tried to get rid of the comments.
Oh, look what I've started now. We get it. Thanks, guys.
It's just a lot of fingers up.
Thanks.
Bruce is getting worried. Stop
fingering us.
No, all clear, wasn't it? The bowel. They don't want to see my. No one needs to respect my bowel for some time now, apparently.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to that when it came up.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I think 10K, I'm absolutely happy to have that as a goal. Obviously, I'm not very fit, but I'm getting fitter. So I'll happily do the 10K with you. We can all stay at Mike's the night before. Where do they run then, Bruce? 10K, where does it start from and where?
So it starts at the town hall.
Right, which one? Grimsby or Clee?
You know, Doughty Road, where you go under where the railway bridge got removed.
Where that car park used to be,
Yeah, Doughty Road, where the bin lorries used to be.
And they stop at place if we're doing it.
Where the old Jag factory, Jag showroom used to be.
There was a garage. Yeah, there was a garage. I saw a picture of that, funnily enough, today. Yeah, then you go out of there and down past the back of the old Q World onto Bargate.
Right.
It's not the most. It's lovely because there's loads of support, and the support was really good. But it's quite there's two quite long straights on it. So you then turn onto Bargate and you run basically to Scather Fork, and then you go left at Scather Fork, pick up the first roundabout on the Parkway, and then you go left, and then you come back all the way up the Parkway under the railway bridge and back into Park. Yes, Mike.
He asked where it started and where it ended.
No, that was exactly what I wanted, Mike. I'm happy with that. And then because I need to know what's going. The idea, though, after being as unfit as I am, the idea I've been doing all that running, and then I get to the flyover, and then I have to run up the slight incline there. Does fill me with intrepidation.
I think the worst psychological bit of the Grimsby 10K is turning onto the Parkway, which you turn onto the Parkway at that roundabout near New Waltham, and you've still got about 2.5 miles to go, and it's just most of it is just straight in front of you. The old railway bridge looks miles away in the distance, but
it's about 2.5 miles away.
I'm not a big racer, but when you're in a race and there's a lot of people, the scenery doesn't really matter because you've always got somebody in front of you or behind you or going past you, or it's all moving, it's changing all the time. It's not like if you go down there on your own on a social run. So yeah, it was good. And then when you get into People's Park, there's thousands of, the amount of supporters that come out on the streets and stuff is really, really good. I went to watch last year and it was good, better doing it.
What we should do is, if we do it, the person who's lost the most games we do every week then has to do it in a Scunny shirt or something like that.
I'd rather do it in a Scunny shirt teeth back in. I'd rather do it in a Scunny shirt than. There was one guy in a dinosaur suit, and it was roasting.
Charlie's got one of them. Shall we do that?
I don't want to spoil it for you, but even if you get fit, I'm not sure that'll fit. Just see you, it'll be like Lycra, won't it? I will get this dinosaur suit.
What a lovely compliment that was. Alex. If you get slim, you'll still be a fat bastard.
Why?
No, you won't get in your son's outfit. Is what
why are you wearing a dinosaur bobble hat?
Yeah. So how have your week's been? Everybody all right? Anything?
Living the dream, mate.
Mike's been moved for the cut, Alex. Did you catch that bit, or were you not on then?
No, he told me yesterday that he's been moved and Tierney's kicked him out of the bed.
My desk has been our desk has been moved into a bin, and now there's a cot there.
The bed's in sight now. You look like Hannah used to when she was when she used to do it from the bedroom.
Tierney said to me a minute ago, "So I've just gone and made the bed."
Yeah, I'm gonna check. Have I got to change the bloody sheets because you're doing the podcast?
Could have removed the cuffs hanging from the headboard though.
Well, I did used to sit here before I got a desk. Then I got a desk. Then I got a kid.
But you have a desk, and this is the thing: you have an office, and it must be 15 yards from where you're sat.
Yeah, but sometimes you just don't fancy those 15 yards. But Tierney works from home, and there is some things I have to do at home as well. So.
Hey, anyway, what about Oldham doing it for the northern boys?
Disappointing.
That's one away day you won't be doing, you two, innit?
I tell you what, I was watching it. I got fed up of whatever his name is, saying, "Oh, look, Southend of a younger, fitter team." He said he went on for about 20 minutes just saying the same thing and repeat, and then Oldham scored 2 late goals.
I didn't see the game, to be fair, but it sounds exciting. But I've seen the goals. Did the defender get a touch on the last one, or was it just a cross and he went for it so the keeper didn't move and then he missed it and it went in?
I wasn't watching that closely, to be honest, mate. It looked like it went all the way in, to be fair.
Yeah, it looked.
It's one of them. The keeper doesn't move because he thinks someone's going to get a touch on it, and then by the time nobody does.
That was how it looked. That was how it looked to me. But yeah, so Oldham away, first game of the season it is then. But that conference looks difficult again, doesn't it? You've got, you'd think York will still be strong next year. Forest Green will chuck bloody money at it again, won't they?
Carlisle,
Southend are a resurgent. Oldham, Carlisle, like you say, will spend money. Not Oldham, sorry, Oldham got promoted. Southend, but either of them two, whichever one of them two stayed down, you would think would have a good season. And then there's always a surprise package as well. So, yeah, I mean that league looks tough again, doesn't it? Especially with just one automatic.
Oliver wants to just flex his muscles by saying that he's really rich because he hopes he can get tickets for Oldham, Bristol, and Chesterfield as a non-season ticket holder. If he's paying for that and the match tickets, he must be quids in. We'll talk about that in a bit.
We've got content this week, haven't we?
Yeah. Do you know what?
We've got stuff.
Leave us alone, lads. Like, go and take a week off. We don't need to. We'd rather just talk about shit. Charlie got his first wicket for Farnham today, which was quite nice.
Well, Max Verstappen's trying to murder people again.
Yes, again. Yeah.
It was a shit race, though, apart from that little bit, wasn't it? Boring.
Yeah. But they all are now.
They're crap. It's not wheel-to-wheel racing. It's boring. Doesn't matter anyway, but yeah.
Well, Max tried to give you some wheel-to-wheel racing. He didn't know where the wheels were going. I don't know. I like aggressive driving, but you've got you had Vettel and Lewis, all experienced, exceptionally the most talented drivers we've ever had, saying exactly what an issue he is. And I like aggressive driving, but he seems to have the same temperament as his dad. And he just seems to let the blood boil over more than once. And then he was just as ridiculous when he was being interviewed afterwards.
Oh, he's a bit petulant, isn't he? He's always he's never wrong, is he?
No,
he's got the temper of a fucking 4-year-old, that fella.
But yeah, I mean, you don't even have any. It's all so clean though. You don't have. When was the last time we had a first corner coming together? It used to be every other race, didn't it? Somebody would take somebody off, and it's just anyway. Yeah, but yes. So
there we go. Yeah, it's weird. A little bit, yeah. I could just hear you breathing in my ear, which is lovely for some, but not for everyone.
How do you know it was me?
Because it wasn't Bruce.
That's not what my Claire moans. I do everything too loud. I breathe too loud. I eat too loud.
Yeah.
I talk too loud when I'm on the pod. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like, I'm sure you'll be fine, Bruce. You just got to eat your cereal outside and your Weetabix outside. Shut the door.
Yeah, I know. Either that, I'm going to have to learn to swallow crisps whole.
Bevo.
Well, I hope Crisp is very happy.
Pick up the crisps, you know the rules.
So, it's been quite a nice weekend. I don't mind the off season. It's a good chance to recharge. I do worry. I know some people are. I mean, we run a podcast, so I can't say I'm not town obsessed, but I do like this bit of time off where I don't have to worry so much about it, or invest a weekend. I can go do other things. I do worry about some people that don't. Maybe they have the ability to decompartmentalize it, but it's a nice thing. And then they come and throw this at us. What is going on, Bruce? I'll come to you first because we know Mike is passionate about it. Anyone who took a moment to listen to him on Humberside. 29 quid they had at a moment, and you actually had something to bring in when we were talking about it, about the price that you and Maisie have had to pay for season tickets this year and the increase. Can you remember what that was?
I think it was I think it went up 60 quid with the price increase and the removal of the 5% discount that Polly explained, sort of, when she was chatting to you lads. It's just occasionally, and I mean, we're this ultra professional outfit now, aren't we? We're day to day. We're run by, a lady that's come from Man United. Well, no, I'm not even going to joke. But and then you've got owners, and it's just just occasionally. It was just like the new badge, and just something goes out there, and you're like, who? The people in the ticket office. They're all people that live locally, that talk to fans day in, day out. How could they not think that if you want to just turn up to 2 or 3 games a season, you and your missus are going to pay 29 quid each to sit in the upper, and the kids are about another 30 quid between them, a little bit less perhaps. You're going to pay nearly 85 quid perhaps for all of you to go and watch Town against Barrow. It would just completely, you would sell your tickets at the start of the season, wouldn't you? And then after that, you would hardly sell any tickets to anyone that wasn't in 1878, which they haven't. I don't, as far as unless I'm wrong, they haven't even said how much that's going to be yet or what the other perks are for that. So yeah, it just felt like they didn't read the room. And I mean, there's this. I've seen the greater together, this greater together thing which we do, and I've seen the ones that will take your words and they'll throw them back at you when things aren't right, and it just occasionally the little thing pop up where the people that I normally moan about moaning are right, which I don't like. It was expensive.
Yeah, I agree, and everything has gone up. This is a cost of living crisis, and Blundell Park is an absolute money pit, and the costs for running the club haven't been cheaper either. They're going through exactly the same things, and I kind of get that. So that's why, and I'm sorry to ring the bell, I'm surprised there aren't alternative ways to pay for things like season tickets and such. If you want to raise prices, that's fine, but then that sort of the community asset part, which is exactly, Jason and Andrew do talk about it, and so do we. The club's at the heart of the community. We want to be part of the community. We want to represent the town. Those sort of things need to be taken into consideration. And I always start a conversation like this saying, there's always, you probably put it out there already, Bruce. There's that thing from the 90s which shows you sort of the ticket prices of all the clubs in the divisions, and Grimsby Towns was about 45 quid, and it was more expensive than Norwich and Birmingham City and any other club that's doing far better than us now that used to be slightly below us or even in the same league. So we've never been the cheapest, and given the area we live in, I'm surprised by that because it should reflect that. But Blundell Park comes with its own restrictions. It's a tiny ground. We're talking about Grimsby Town being a big club, it holds 8,000 comfortably. After that, it's an absolute nightmare to get people in, as we've seen day in, day out. We've not broken 10,000 since when was the last time we broke 10,000, Bruce?
I don't think we have as all-seater. I don't think it's ever held that many as all-seater. So
exactly,
you're going back to 1995, 30 years.
So I understand the idea of raising the ticket prices, but it's a heck of a jump. It was Mike, 16% in terms of initially, and we're happy to discuss it here. And if the club want to come back on us, and we had them on, but the rumours before the season tickets were announced for me were that the season tickets are going up by 19%. And they didn't do that. And we were having talks in the WhatsApp group about it, going, if that's completely out of step with everybody, that's going to be absolute chaos. And the rumours is the trust was able to drag them back. And I don't know whether that's true or not. There was still an increase. It was still a weighty increase, but it's still good value for money as a season ticket. 18 quid a ticket is, to me, is relatively decent. But 30 quid, if you're throwing out free tickets to kids to come along to Blundell Park, which they do, 500 tickets a game or whatever, you then get a kid hooked and they go, oh, I'd love to go back, Dad. Take me to town again. Take me. Well, I can't, mate. It's 30 quid for me to go in the upper, or 26 quid for me in the pontoon, if I can get a ticket in the pontoon. And then it's another, and the one that really got in my craw, because 29 was the upper Findus price, was 2 years ago, a ticket in the pontoon for like a 7-year-old was 6 quid. It's now a tenner. That's almost doubled in price in that time. So you take 2 kids, that's 26, 36, 50 quid before you've even parted with any money for anything else. That's an expensive day out anywhere. Cricket tickets at Surrey, 25 quid for the family section for the T20. You can talk about the value for that nowadays. That's absolutely fine. The 100 are about the same. And in fact, Luke's just put Warwickshire v Lancashire T20 on a Friday night, costing me 35 quid for an adult and 2 kids. Now, the conversation that Blundell Park can then Grimsby Town can turn around and say, the Oval holds 27,000 people. We do not have the flexibility to be able to attribute that and make ticket discounts and we can't do what they do at Bradford. We can't do what they do at Blackburn, but we can, and again, I'll say it quick, we can certainly do discounts or installments for things like the same that Tranmere do and everybody else. And I believe it might have been Luke, it might be someone else who put an incredible list up on Twitter of what other clubs are doing. I'm really surprised that that sounded like the trust weren't notified, and that was just odd. And I will Yeah, sorry, Bruce. And then
sorry,
we'll go to Mike.
sorry. Before Mike comes in, I didn't really particularly. I wasn't particularly impressed with Polly's response when you spoke to her about it, and you mentioned it, and she said not many people use the current options, and it's because to me
they're shite.
It's paid over 3 months, so you're still looking at, me and Maisie would still be looking. I would be looking at paying over 150 quid a month for 3 months.
Yeah,
our tickets have gone through the 500 quid mark for the two of us this year. In the lower, I think it was 530 quid or 520 quid or something like that. So if you did it over 3 months, so what I do is stick it on a credit card, my own credit agreement.
Yeah,
and I pay it over. Whereas, like you say, if I was spreading that over a year, if that was possible, I would probably be interested in that. But so I think to say that there's not a lot of people use the current. That's because I still don't think for a lot of people to take a hit. Especially that's just two of us. If we were a family of four, paying in the 3 month thing, that's probably 300 quid a month for 3 months. Families probably can't do that, so they probably do the same as I do. So I think if there were better options, like you say, I think more people would do them.
It would also, before I talk about it more broadly, it would also give the opportunity to maybe raise some more funds, because you're saying that, Bruce. I think if you charge somebody 75 quid for the ease of being able to do it over 12 months, you could see the offset. Well, I'm paying £75 more, but I'm paying in 12 months. So you could raise more money doing that as well. But more broadly about it, I mean, I was shocked to see the prices on, when was it, Wednesday or Thursday? I think two things can be the same at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. You could understand the club need to raise funds, but you can disagree with this. And a lot of the chat in the week about, well, this is to fund to fill the gap in funding. I didn't really see it, because when you actually look at the numbers, I can't see how this would make them any more than £40,000 to £50,000 a year if everybody kept going at the way they do. £2 extra a ticket compared to where they've gone back to for 1,000 people or so, 46 grand over the year. So it's not a lot of money to piss an entire fan base off. So I was shocked about that. And one thing we've spoken about a fair bit is the comms of things. So they just dropped this on everybody 2 days before the cutoff with no explanation, nothing at all. Now, if you're going to do something like this, do it early and tell people and say, look, these are the circumstances. We really need to help you get behind the club so we can afford to buy the players we want to. So this is why we're doing it, and come with us and have a conversation about it. Instead of just dropping down a 16% increase in matchday tickets in the upper, but some of them 40%, depending where you're going and which bracket you're in. And I just can't understand it. Who's at the club saying, you know what, this will be fine. This will be totally fine. Let's just drop the ticket, the new ticket prices, not do anything around it and leave it. Nobody will notice. Because it was evident to anybody that looked at those, this is going to be a big deal. And
I think that you raise a decent point, SG. What's the problem? Surely you've had the conversation beforehand of, right, this is going to be the season ticket price, and surely at the same time you've had the conversation about what's the attending match day ticket price is going to be. You can't have had those conversations differently, could you? Because how are you valuing it? How are you budgeting it? How are you working out the idiosyncrasies of, if we charge this an extra £1 here or whatever, this is where we can get the money back? And if the ticket is 26 quid instead of £29, what are the differences going to be? What have we worked that out? That sort of stuff. Surely you've had that information available to you, and as such, the fans have a right to have all the information in front of them when they are making a decision which is going to cost £400-500 or more about what their expenditures are following the club. So, but Bruce can make an informed decision, and we talk about it a lot. Grimsby is a different demographic to a lot of people. We're not just talking about lower end of the pay scale. We're also talking about shift workers who are 4 on, 4 off, and can't guarantee that they're off on a Wednesday. It's not that people aren't as lucky as me and Mike when we know we're boring Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We know we're going to be free on a weekend, and we'll have the evenings off to go watch town. People can't make that decision. And if you're not giving them the match day ticket going prices either, they can't make an informed decision of going, well, actually, I can't do it, but if we buy a season ticket as a family, I can't go, but such and such can go, and then we can make that affordable, rather than me going, actually 30 quid in the upper Findus or 26 quid in the pontoon is a bit too much. That stunk of poor communication, and I'm surprised at the current place in the club that's where they're at.
I'll be honest. The only word I could think of in the week was amateur, and there's probably a better word for it because that seems a bit insulting. But it's one of the. I thought this was so poorly handled that anybody with half an ounce of experience in the town and the club and the fan base would know to handle that differently. I thought it was so poorly communicated. It was just shocking. Then also you've got the thing. People aren't going to pay that. So it's all right increasing prices by 16%, but if there's 25% people less paying it, it's not bringing in the same amount of money. And as I said, 46 grand roughly is not a lot of money on a football club's budget to piss an entire fan base off. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad they've listened and learned and come back from it. Making mistakes is fine. Just make sure you learn from them. But I just could not get over how amateur it was. I was really disappointed with it. I think it was so simple. So simple. This is like one of the most important things to a fan is how much we're paying to go there, right? And it wouldn't affect a lot of people. A lot of people on season tickets, that's the majority of people that go by looks of it. But it affects away fans, and it affects how they view you, and it also affects, as Alex said, it affects single dad who's got his kids and can't get a season ticket, but can take them a couple of times, right? You're going to lose out on those fans because they're not going to games when they're younger. I became a town fan because I went to the odd game, right? And if these people aren't going to the odd game, then where are you in 10 years? Because you've priced people out. And all these conversations should have been had. And I can't for the life of me know why they weren't. And what is also more concerning is it looks like the trust didn't really know what was going on or were consulted too much from their statement. And that's something that concerns me because they're on the board representing fans. Why does it look like they're not involved in it or don't have a say in it? I might be overreading their statement, but that's the conclusion I came to.
And the last thing before we, sorry,
Mike. Sorry, Alex, go on.
No, the last thing before we move on, then, and whatever you want to say, Bruce, is I was fucking hell, I've lost it. There was a couple of people come back on when I said, look, I was proud of the club pulling it back. They've dropped a bollock on it, and they've made a mistake, and I hope there's a look into why that is. What can we do because it feels very similar to the badge thing, which to me, not a massive issue. Cleaned it up, added a flag. Some people liked it as an opportunity to beat the new ownership with, which is, whatever gets you hard at night. But in terms of the way the club is, I want a club to come back and go, yeah, we fucked that, but we'll fix it. That's absolutely fine. And I don't understand why you wouldn't be, considering where we were. That's exactly what you want to hear. But I am surprised at the journey we all went on to get to that price and then went on there. Mike, sorry, Bruce.
No, and I think like towards the end of it, just felt instantly when they went back on it. And I'm not talking about what happened, but it just felt didn't it feel like a cloud had been lifted on a day of sort of gripes and moaning and cloud it just suddenly felt, oh yeah, that's better. And then they extended the season tickets for a week, which is great. People were
Quell Supreme.
They were saying that they'd only got till the end of May. Now they've got another week of that, and and they've had a good week commercially. They've had the 3Q, and they announced originally that they were going to be the short sponsors, was it? And now we've got winner chicken dinner, which I've seen people with different opinions on that, but it's probably the same people that are moaning about the ticket prices that are then moaning about who sponsors us. Some of the pages on some of the social media, I have to come off it because I could just end up arguing with half the people on there. But they've had a good week commercially, or a good couple of weeks, and long may that continue. And there's obviously it's just getting the balance right on the decisions and what they're doing, isn't it? And getting things right. And like they say, they're not going to get everything right, but what we've talked about felt like quite a big one. But to turn it around and give them some credit, they're obviously thinking outside of the box, which we used to, we used to knock the previous regime, didn't we? And it's some time ago now, but we used to knock them for, only approach commercially. There were stories that we would only approach the same people that had been customers previously, and we didn't really get a lot of new business, and we didn't get, we didn't tap into other markets. Well, short sponsors, back of shirt sponsors, we're looking at stand sponsors. We're certainly trying now to bring money in, and Andrew alluded in your interview, didn't he, to that, and whether we've had that already, but that, they're expecting, I suspect not, because he said that what might happen could potentially be fairly seismic, didn't he?
Yeah, and you're quite right. And one thing I noticed is they're advertising for training wear sponsors and match day training wear sponsors, which is something I've never seen before. And then they've got the back of shirt sponsor along with 3Q. So I don't have much time for the people saying, "Oh, I don't like the winner chicken dinner." It's a local company that is putting money into our football club. Yeah, so you can't on one hand say raise money and then on the other hand not like that. I'm all for
that ticket tout that gave a load of money and used to put loads of things up in WWE, Mike, and you used to go, "Oh, who's putting that up?" And you found out it was a infamous ticket tout who would scalp thousands of pounds of people. Same sort of thing, because he's a local guy, isn't he?
I think it's slightly different.
Where's the line? Where's our line of demarcation?
Well, are you saying winner chicken dinner that they're an immoral company?
I think there's an argument to be made for that, but I'm playing devil's advocate here. Gambling and everything is, for some people, is quite a touchy subject, and there needs to be more rules and regulations.
Well,
for me,
it's a different conversation we can get into.
No, it's not, because you're talking about where the line is for me personally in terms of the morality of it, because you asked if they're an immoral company. I don't necessarily think it is. I think it's probably the more kind of face of gambling. But it's not, for example, it's not a random Chinese company that doesn't exist, as we see in the Premier League, where they don't actually exist. It's just a cryptocurrency scheme and a money laundering thing, as they would say. Maybe I'm going too far on that, but that's sort of what Philippe Claire and the like say when they're discussing it on a thing.
Now that I can read the comments.
The point I was making is that I don't think any fair-minded fan is against raising funds and raising them through tickets or what fans pay, but there's more progressive ways to do it. As we've said, you can make those season tickets 12 months, make a bit of money on there. You can make a premium season ticket where those fans that can purchase one for a lot more money and get every single game at Blundell Park, youth games, cup games, friendly games. But that's an option for a more affluent fan to do, and you could market it as that and say, really help us. And then you're not left in the position where the people that can't do that are left nowhere because they can't afford to do that. Exiles, you could get more money out of us. We live away. We don't buy tickets. We don't buy season tickets. Can you market something at us on a monthly basis? So there is lots of more progressive ways you can do it, but it's a really blunt instrument. Just say, right, everybody now, regardless of means, is now going to pay more money. So I think they really need to do more thinking about how can they get more money out of people in the right ways. Does that make sense? There are some affluent fans that could probably pay a couple of extra quid.
Oh.
Ben Bristow says, I assume it's Ben Bristow, I can't see that much on the comments. Just to balance out, he says, winner chicken dinner seems a bit sus to me. Town wants to be B Corp and an ethical company, but they're taking money from what is essentially an online gambling / tombola website that happened to donate some cash. So it's all about, it's about opinions and things like that, as you've said, Alex. And I personally don't have, because winner chicken dinner sponsor the back of our shirts, it doesn't mean that I personally am going to go on their website and buy 25 grand's worth of tickets. But like you say, it is a subject that some have got problems with. But personally, like you say, I don't find that particularly. And as you say, it's a local company. It's not Bet365. It's not,
It's not even Bet365. It's the random ones that you have on this size of shirt sponsor. They're really interesting to get into if you want to take it. I think the point I have on this as well is something has to give somewhere. So if we are going to sit here and complain about £29 a ticket, season ticket, a ticket match going prices, and then also complain about the morality of a lottery, it's a lottery sort of sponsor, then I think there's some where you're pushing the club into a corner in which there is no money going to. Now, For me, the bigger moralities are companies like Forest Green, who advocate veganism and sustainability and environmental practices, while at the same time being sponsored by companies like Safran, who make intercontinental ballistic missiles, or Renishaw, who are deep into the defense companies. So if you want to take those sort of hypocritical stances, look at companies, look at football clubs like that, who are marketing themselves as a family-friendly, world-friendly environment, while also taking money off people who are quite happy to blow massive pieces of the fucking world apart. So it's those sort of things annoy me. The things, if we are getting to the point where I would like, as we've said on this club, this podcast 1,000 times, kids should get into free. 18 years old, you should never have to pay a penny to Blundell Park if you don't want to. You should never have to pay a penny to step in the ground. Now, 6 years ago, when we were averaging 2,000-3,000 or whatever it may be, that would have been an actual goer. You could do that. You can't do that now. Blundell Park is tiny. It is smaller than Glanford Park, and Scunthorpe have had a higher attendance than we've had. So I think there are levels in which you have to go, what is acceptable, what isn't. Now, if you want to come in and say, look, I don't think gambling is it, maybe the club should be offering something as well to support those who are addicted to gambling as a counterpoint to that, and winner chicken dinner should maybe help support that too. But I think there are, differences in where you have to put a stance somewhere, but we can't be put ourselves on a pillar and then wonder why we've got no money and everyone's having to pay 35 quid to get in.
No, you're absolutely correct. And as I say, I don't think any fair-minded fans against it. I mean, I have very, very strong views about the gambling industry in football. Very strong views. I think we've touched on them before. We're happy maybe another time to get into those and about how I don't like how involved it is in football. I personally don't see this as the same. That might be just me, but I don't. But yeah, the club needs to fill the gap somehow. And if we want these players to come, and we want good players playing for us, transfer fees paid, there comes a point where the money has to be raised. There's not going to be forever and a day that Jason and Andrew just going to plough their hard-earned money into it, as much as they have, and much as they're probably willing to do a bit longer. That just doesn't work. And as I said, I'm all for raising money how we can. Just, I think it was a bit of a blunt instrument, a bit of an easy way just to raise the prices on people that I don't think would work.
What's a blunt instrument?
Raising the tickets.
Oh man, we've moved on from that 15 minutes ago. We've done that bit.
Right, okay.
But
I think I've seen. I don't. If going back to Ben's point, if Ben's got, that's how Ben feels. That's, like you say, we're all entitled. I'm not going to say that anybody's opinion's any less than mine, but I personally don't have an issue with it. But yeah, it's been like Mike said right at the start. It's this. Well, we said on the chat, didn't we? We're going to have a bit to talk about this week, and I've just noticed. I don't know if you can see. I just looked around to see if the calendar had been. I've done anything with the calendar. Maisie's put it on September because it's Van Thorsen.
Oh well, now you've ruined September for everyone.
No, it starts on September. That's not a surprise, is it? That doesn't really. That's your starting card anyway, isn't it? But yeah, I just noticed. I just turned around because it's Calendar's Day today, isn't it? And I just realised that she's obviously. I was like, why is it not on May still? And she's put it on September.
If it helps, interesting time. It's amazing how it's come about. But Linny, Carlisle, anyone bothered? People were rumoured. We'd tried and worked it out from mystic messages we'd been receiving that it could be potentially them to come to him to come here. There was somebody on the Altrincham forum saying it's a bang on. Are we speaking? This is a conversation about moral stance as well. Do we want a formerly convicted, was it drugs dealer at the club as well?
I think we've had plenty of stuff in the past, haven't we? But I did look.
We've got to have a retentive society.
I did look at his record. He's 28, and he has. I think he's had 1.5 good seasons, goal scoring wise. So and he's chosen at 28. I know people will say that Carlisle have probably lobbed a lot of money at him, and he's obviously over that. He's over in the West anyway. I know he's not in the Northwest, but he's in the West. But is this his last chance? Because like as we've said, how competitive that league's going to be. Has he turned down the opportunity to play in the Football League again? I don't know if he has before, But does that show? Is he another Jamie Osborne that loves being one of the better players in non-league, rather than try and test himself in the Football League? I don't know, and it doesn't really matter now. But that he might look back in a couple of years' time and think, oh, we finished third in the conference, missed out on the playoffs, and he's 31 and he's not going to get a chance in the Football League. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I saw it seemed to score goals. So, but I'm kind of with the same mantra with Artel. If we were in for him and he didn't want to come here, then that's fine. He's not a Grimsby Town player then. So we can look for alternatives. And I'm sure wherever he is at the moment, Mike, have we worked out where in the world he currently is? Was he staying at your caravan or was it somewhere more towards Filey?
I've had to have a word and say, please don't advertise that I've given you the caravan for a couple of weeks. Everybody wanting it then. I think I devoted too much time to looking, and I think the consensus was Como or US Virgin Islands.
Do you think he's squirreling some money away? Is this what it is? This is the way the club are making money. We're not paying our taxes.
Well, he's sort of trolling, isn't he? He's inviting people to try and find where he is after last season. But I just imagine having that conversation with the family. Like, I've got 2 weeks all inclusive, lovely place. So it's over in Italy. Or do you mind? There's a 4th division player I want to go and see while we're there.
Who was the club that recently went into the 3rd division in Italy?
Sampdoria.
Sampdoria, yes, Series C. Maybe we're poaching some people from them.
No, but I just chuckling when Mike was saying about working on holiday. Did you hear what he said when he had his conference call at midnight or something? It just had me, Mrs. Artel in bed. David, are you coming to bed, love? I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'm just on a conference call about a player.
I'm talking to Matt Reeve.
By the time he gets there, she's rolled over and she's asleep facing the other way.
If he's on a conference call at 12 o'clock, he might be further away than Europe, because who's having a conference call at 12 o'clock?
Oh, I don't know.
Time difference.
Or he's in Europe and he's contacting South America.
We're signing Neymar. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Wow. You heard it here first.
Neymar. Can you imagine how Town fans would take to Neymar? The first gentle push from a 4th division bruiser and he rolls his way to the seafront.
I'm not buying no fucking shirt with winner chicken dinner on the back, even if it does say Neymar.
They've come on and they have agreed to pay every little bit of his wages. No, not having it. No, not for me. Not for me. It's funny.
We'll get Barry Conman back, but we'll be sponsored by My Little Pony.
Poor Laceby Arms. They're never going to be able to make any fortune on that now it's shut. There's
a lot going on in the chat, isn't there? I didn't realise how active this was. Thanks to everybody that puts messages in. I do read them all, even if the director of the podcast doesn't read them all out. There are some very nice people on here. Is this a new thing?
Well, they've been messaging forever. But
these people like you.
I don't wear my glasses very often, do I? It's just normally I just see you lot, but I've pressed the button today.
We've got quite a bit going on in here. Mike,
can you move your mic up?
No, that's the private chat.
That's a private chat.
Reading that out.
You can't say that about Ben Bristow. Bloody hell. I'm joking, Ben. Now someone's put a dodgy link. What's that? I'm not clicking on that.
No,
nobody's put one in, mate. I think you've come off onto another screen again.
Right, I think I'm getting this. I'm getting rid of these messages.
Are you on Live Jasmine or something? What's going on? Are there local singles in your area?
It's back to. It's just found me 2 pretty girls in Grimsby, 3 miles away.
That's not real. Bruce, don't fall for it. I don't want to find out that they've taken all your programs off you because Mr. Bruce, please may I have the money? My aunt is sick, and if I could sell all your programs, I would be able to. I would be able to get her the care she needs.
Hey, I tell you what, I got donated this week.
Oh God! Don't be bodily fluids.
When the Sports Telegraph finished, they brought out some like souvenir edition. Well, it says souvenir edition.
Surely, with your mindset, you bought these already.
No, well, I didn't at the time. I've probably got one of these lying around, but somebody kindly gave me the full set of 3 this week, which is really nice.
How many season tickets have we got? 4,500 or something we've sold now, is it? Something like that?
It must be, because it was over 4,000 at the weekend, wasn't it?
It's pretty good. Pretty good going, isn't it? 5,000 is usually the marker.
It's the new marker. It wasn't the marker 4 or 5 years ago, but like you say, it's certainly. I think the most is about 6,000, isn't it? Was it 6,000 that first? Was that the first season back in the league, or was that the first season under the new owners in the conference?
I think the first season was 5,002. I don't think it got much higher than that. And
I
don't
right,
think actually. But football's in rude health. I mean, it is to a point. It's not sustainable anywhere you go. But 52,000 today, 5th tier National League. I thought they had a problem with trying to get that many people in, so I guess they must have fixed it. But 52,000 was pretty incredible.
It was a modern problem where when somebody actually takes the time to stop and think and actually make a bit of an effort, oh, well, actually, you can all get there. We just, as long as you avoid, Wembley Park or whatever. But yeah, no, it's no 52,000, like you say, but it's 2 proper clubs, isn't it? And 2 clubs that have been, down in the doldrums, and hopefully that Oldham coming up from, they didn't finish in the top 3 or 4, did they? They weren't they sort of a 5th, 6th, 7th in the playoffs, something. So hopefully they're not coming up absolutely flying. We'll see. But yeah, little trip over to Oldham, first game of the season, away.
Is that what you're wanting? You're not wanting Fleetwood again?
That's what'll happen. Yeah, well, Fleetwood. No, we've had the spoilers last year with Fleetwood. It'll be a Tuesday night in February this year. This season.
Where else could we take you? Where else would be nice for you? Is there anywhere else on the coast? Because Southend's gone. You could have had Southend on in August.
Yeah.
David Riley says.
I'll tell you what I do hope works well. Bristol Rovers. I've never been to Bristol. I've not been to City or Rovers.
You've never been to Bristol full stop?
I've driven past on the M5. Sort of goes past on it.
Hey, Bruce, I'll say this, and we'll all be interested in this. The largest all you can eat in the UK in there, the Zaza. You'll love it. It's like the cantina in Star Wars. Brilliant. Right in the centre of town.
I don't like your friend. I don't like your friend.
Which friend?
Star Wars. It's a bit niche.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
He hasn't got friends, Bruce.
Not now. I've upset Mike.
What? Because you told him that we'd moved on. You told him we'd moved on from talking about the price of football.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
Some people make a living on podcasts like that.
He's going to go on like pod strike, isn't he? And there'll be that awkward period of silence, so Michael just be sat there secretly sticking 2 fingers up at you, like that.
Not so secret now. You're reading out the private chat.
There was nothing controversial.
No, I know. Not this time. So lucky. Jesus. Daniel Lewis says Bristol Rovers away and still uncovered. I don't think it is, Daniel. I thought they've got another bit there now. But,
another tent. There was another tent at the away end, wasn't there? A gazebo.
Another tent. There is definitely another away end there now, though.
I know look at the ground.
They put a new stand in. I don't know if it's for the away fans, so Daniel might still be right. I know Aldershot have changed theirs. So, where we used to sit, if you've been to Aldershot before, you would go up the hill, up Redan Hill, and then you'd go in the away end, and it would kind of be shared terracing with the home and away fans. That was quite nice. They've changed that now. So now the away fans just get a lump of a slab in the corner. You have to go in on the high street, which will be quite interesting. And the home fans are getting that entire barreled roof terrace, which is amazing. I do like that terrace.
I remember the name of it. It's the Memorial Ground, isn't it?
Bristol. It is the Memorial Ground. They've got I'm pretty sure they've got a new stand.
They used to play at Twerton Park, Bath, didn't they?
Might be before my time, my friend.
Really?
I didn't really give a shit about Bristol Rovers until about 2015.
Right, okay. Yeah, there is. Is that the right? Yeah, the ground's got. It's got 2 sort of. The tents and stuff seem to have gone. And that open corner, those 2 sides. Yeah, you might be right, actually. I don't know which is the away end, but I'm just looking at a photo of it. This doesn't work very well on a podcast, on an audio podcast.
Daz Imp, who might well give away his allegiance, he says the Rovers way end has changed. It's a new stand behind the goal now. So
cheers, Daz.
Daz enjoying Lincoln at the height of their ability in third tier of English football.
Thank you for listening, Daz.
Thank you, Daz.
He's like sat there with his glass of bloody red wine or something, just sort of, let's see how the little lot down the road.
Let's see how the Surfs are doing.
Grimsby. And then when he feels like really gloating inside, then he listens to one of the Scunny podcasts.
If they can find anybody, yeah.
No, I tell you that commercially, they everything's sponsored at Scunny now, isn't it? I don't know.
Oh, my favourite was there was a tweet, wasn't there, which was the substitutes were the tweet itself is sponsored. So the social media post is sponsored by such and such. And then the substitutes are also sponsored. And there was something else that was also sponsored on that one tweet. So it was like such and such sponsored by such and blah, blah, blah. It was quite funny.
It was the match time. So they sponsor the match time. So when they say, oh, it's the 80th minute, it's sponsored by so-and-so. And
then the social media post is also then, yeah.
Yes. Our substitute sponsored by so-and-so, and the 80th minute sponsored by so-and-so. This tweet is sponsored by.
I'd love it. I'd love it if Sir Alex Ferguson felt like dead generous and like the last stoppage time was sponsored by Fergie.
Well, we've already become the unofficial sponsor of the halftime team talk. About 25 minutes in, someone feigns an injury. That's our sponsorship. That's our niche. That bit there. When they all wander off over to the side and waste 5 minutes after you've spent 29 quid on a ticket. God,
right,
could you imagine?
I'm going to get the calendars ready.
Do it. Mike, could you imagine if spending 29 quid to sit in the upper Findus and then watch us lose 1-0 to Wilston like we did last season?
No, I spent a lot more than 29 quid to watch us lose to Wilston. I was there.
Here we go. Well, your fault.
Yep, my fault.
So a couple of things down at the bottom. Dockfest tickets are still about. We've also put Broadley FC down there. Massively incredible charity. £45,000 raised already for blood cancer in memory of Richard Broadley. There is a old QR code there you can go and donate to if you wish to. And then on the 17th of July, Jameson County Cricket are playing Grimsby Town Football Club at Clee Cricket Club. So you might even get to see Mr. Bruce there, down in his madry, getting a bit tipsy, and he might even show you the famous bush, and then he might also show you where he fell over. Then I might even be up there to play cricket as well. I've kind of semi-agreed to it, but my cricket bat is shot. So if I can get 300 quid out of Leanne to buy a cricket bat, I'll be surprised. She's bought a new car, so maybe I can.
I've got a GM one in decent nick if you want to borrow it.
Oh, thank you. There we go. There's a start.
Are you shorter than me, or are you a bit taller than me?
A bit taller.
How tall are you?
How tall are you? Bruce, new game.
No.
Remind me, mate. You can borrow mine if you want.
Maisie's just messaged me to see if I'd noticed that the calendar had been changed, so it definitely was her.
This is David. Bruce is going to have to be umpire. It's going to have to go to him because it's the only way we can do this fairly. Right, Bruce, you've got that stuff. How does this work now? Let's see.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to June's Play Your Calendars Right. 2 contestants this evening. We've got Alex. Good evening, Alex. How are you?
Hi, my name's Alex. I'm from Aldershot. Nice to meet you all. Lovely to see you.
Nice to meet you. All right, shut up. Mike. We've got Mike somewhere in London. Mike, whereabouts are you?
I'm somewhere in London, and I'm Mike.
He's from Surrey and Sutton. Surrey and Sutton. Sutton,
right.
Surrey.
I'm going to let Mike in London go first because I feel sorry for him.
He's in bloody London.
So
that's right.
He's been kicked out of it. Apparently he's been moved. He's been displaced.
I've also turned off the chat, Bruce. I've also turned off the chat so no one can read it.
Can you stop putting in, please?
No.
Alex in all the shot. Right. Mike, you're going to go first. You know the rules. I'm not going to tell you.
Can you call me Mike from Sutton, please? You're calling Alex from Aldershot.
Your June player is Tyrell Warren. You want to go higher or lower than Warren?
Higher.
Higher than Warren. You've got 1998. I think you'll be all right here. You've turned over Kevin Joblin. Kevin Joblin of Leicester, of the beating of Leicester fame, good club man. He's higher than Tyrell Warren. So you're still in the sixth, Mike. Higher or lower than Kevin Joblin?
Lower.
Lower. You've got. What year you've got? What year have you got? 2024. Oh. You've got Anthony Glennon. Who is it like Anthony Glennon, Mike?
It's Mike.
Yeah.
Was it you, Mike?
Yeah.
Is Anthony Glennon lower than Kevin Joblin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I concur.
I like the
Why do I
bloke,
get
I'm not an idiot.
Anthony, no, you just. If it was Doug, would you have said something different?
We don't want to go over the same thing too much for too long. I can move us on when needed, Bruce.
Right. Yes. Anthony Glennon, Mike. Anthony Glennon, higher or lower?
Higher.
Oh, it stopped. Why has it stopped? Oh, there it is.
Anthony Glennon, you've turned James Hansen. Well, this is tricky tonight, isn't it?
It's you, and you're the judge, so you're going to have to make a decision. On
And what
this.
did you say there? Higher or lower?
Never you mind what
higher
I
than
said.
Gleno, didn't
I'll
you?
tell you when
He
you make a
said-
decision.
He said
what I said.
higher.
I
I
said
thought
higher.
he said high. Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
like James Hansen. I'm going higher. Alex,
I usually-
no, Mike, you're still in the seat.
I've zoned out usually during your game. What do I do? Do I just sit here?
No, you're not. I got it wrong. It's Mike.
Higher.
Mike went higher. Right, higher than James Hansen. You have got 2019. Oh, Mike, I'm afraid you've got John Welsh, and his time at Town really wasn't very impressive. Alex,
It was
you
a hell
are
of a slide
seat
tackle,
now.
though, wasn't it? Ooh, higher than
Right.
John Welsh. Oh, yeah, higher.
Higher than John Welsh.
I think so. So unless
Higher
you
than
pull
John
out fucking
Welsh.
Paul Linwood,
You've got 1996.
I'll be fine then. Good. Right, next one. Let's just move on. We don't even need to see who it is.
Liverpool.
Oh, fine.
Liverpool. Club legend Steve Livingston is higher than John Welsh.
In every sense of the way. I will
Higher
go
or
for
lower?
lower than Livo. I can't believe there is a person any better than him. I
Right,
can
you've
think
got
of one.
2000. You've got 2001.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Oh, no, I might not be, actually. Oh. Oh.
Oh, this is a bit weird. This is like the Joker because it's not a player. For some reason, in 2001, they put Lenny Lawrence in June. Why would you?
Nothing.
So,
Nothing
I'm
for
going to
pair.
class that as the Joker. So you went lower than Livo.
So do I have to pass over to Mike then? Because you get nothing for a pair.
No, you're still in.
Okay.
You're still in.
He certainly was a joker with that ITV digital.
You've got
wasn't
Michia Fete.
Do you know what? I'm fine. The only one that would worry me is if Sam now logs in. But I think he's
Who
on
is
a dating
lower?
girl.
Who is Michia Fete? Who is lower than Livo? Although he's holiday, I follow him on Instagram. He's somewhere exotic on holiday.
Oh God, he's not near David Artell, is he?
Playing for Ross County, obviously does some good. Right, so you've got Michia Fete, higher or lower?
Higher, please.
Luke Hendry. Oh, these are really. I'm not enjoying this tonight, and it's my show.
You know how we feel
Mike,
every
Mike,
week.
Can you help me out independently? Is Michia Fete higher or lower than Luke Hendry? Hendry's better, isn't he?
Henry is. No. What did you say, Alex?
Don't you mind?
I think.
No,
I don't
think
know,
Luke
but I think
Hendry-
Mishy's higher. Mishy's higher. He got us promoted. Luke Hendry did nothing here. Mishy was part of a promotion team and an FA
This
Cup.
could be controversial, Mike. So does that mean you're back in the hot seat?
I don't know what Alex said, but I'm saying Mishy is higher than that because
I think
FA
he- I
Cup
think he
quarter
said it was
final
gonna
and
be-
promotion.
I said it was going to be higher because Luke Hendry is a better player
Right.
than him.
Okay. Well, Mike, you've sorted yourself out. You're back in the hot seat with 2 calendars to go.
Oh, how convenient.
So,
Higher.
Luke Hendry, higher or lower?
Higher. You can't get lower.
Eriko Sousa.
Promotion team.
I'm not sure that Sousa did more than Hendry, though, at the club.
What did Hendry do?
He scored when I went to Swindon, and that was a good day.
And he was in a relegation team. He got us relegated out of the Football League, man.
You've got it. It's all subjective, Mike. Mike from Sutton.
Luke Hendry or Eriko Sousa? Now, I'm saying Hendry. Hendry had more of a career. Sousa only played about... Oh, hang on. No. Sorry, I'm thinking of Scannell. Oh. But Sousa...
Hang on. Erika Sousa did far more for Town than Sean Scannell did.
No, but I was thinking of Scannell. I was thinking he got injured and then didn't play a lot. But actually, Sousa was really good till he got to the edge of the box. I've lost the plot tonight. Sousa or Luke Hendry?
One got us relegated, one got us promoted. Just putting it.
All right, I'm going higher. Sousa played at Wrexham. That means you're still in, Mike, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm going higher.
Last calendar, higher or lower than Sousa?
Higher.
So you've just picked up Sousa, and now you're saying that really he's just dog.
Of course.
And you've turned to win it, Mike, for June 2025. Paul Groves.
Oh, there you go.
I think I need to think of a new game. I'm starting to tire with this one.
Ross Joyce.
Sorry, folks.
Unbelievable.
That's June done. And that might be the final calendars ever.
Oh, that's big news, that. You're going to have to think of another game then.
Well, I've got my other game, haven't I? How old are you?
I might be a fat prick, but I'm not a bald fat prick.
I just assumed it was the person from South London. There we go. Congratulations to Mike for winning that highly controversial and corrupted draw on calendars. We've had an hour. I've not got anything else to talk about. Have you? Good.
No.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for joining us. We actually had content. We hope it made sense. But if you've got any questions, we will answer them on Sunday because I am basically I low-balling social media. I'm basically barely interacting with it. So there we go. Anything from anybody else?
Have a good week.
Have a good week, you beautiful people. We shall see you next Sunday.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. They've been fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good goal. You can't make it straight like that.
It's just me.